Hi everybody, I'm Emily Baker with BuoyBox, where we craft and snack our way towards boosting our mood. And today I'm super excited to present to you our very first project. A cute little pinch pot, clay pinch pot that we'll be making in part 1 of the video. And part 2, we will be making this macrame plant hanger. So thanks for joining me. I'm super excited and I can't wait to get crafting with you. Hi everybody, I'm Emily Baker with BuoyBox. Now we are going to talk about the second part of the project, which is the macrame plant hanger for our little pinch pot that we created. And I'm going to show you how to make that today. So let me set this aside and get the stuff that we need. You will need the macrame cord that was in your box. And then you will also eventually need this additional little short piece. And you will need the little wooden ring, as well as you will have a piece of tape around your rock bag here. Just gently peel that off when the time comes, and you will need that to hold everything in place as you're tying. So you have 8 strands of macrame cord that measure about 26 inches each, but it's all in one length. I kept it like that because I think it's a little bit easier to cut rather than like gathering all the little pieces. So just line your ends up after you've unraveled it. Line your ends up, and you're just going to keep folding it in half. So there's one half, and then here's the middle that I just folded, and then here's the 2 ends. So I put those together, run my hands down again, the middle that I just folded, and the other ends, put those together, and then run your hands down. The length of this is about 26 inches or so. And what you're going to do is take your wooden ring, place it on one end here, and go to the middle. You can put your pieces together again to find that middle. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but try to get it as close as you can. Okay, so I've gotten it as close as I can. And you're going to create a knot about 1 inch down from the wooden ring. So as you can see, here, this knot is not right up next to the ring. You can do that too. I just liked the separation. It looked a little cleaner because this knot is pretty large compared to this little ring. I didn't want it to blend in and look like one big kind of glob. I thought this looked like a very nice detail. So I like mine down about 1 inch. So you take the whole kit and caboodle. And pull it through. The most challenging thing is just kind of keeping all the cords together and acting as like one cable. Okay, so there you can see it's about 1 inch down or so, maybe a little more, it's fine, but it's got these looser pieces. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take each individual strand and pull until those looser pieces tighten up. Be sure you've tugged on all of them. There's that last one. And then it creates a really nice, clean, pretty knot. Now take this, actually let's cut these first. It'll be a little bit easier on us. So you'll still have these loops at the end. Just go ahead and cut those. And then you're gonna take this part and use your tape. Gently peel that away. I like to tape it in between these two. It seems to hold the best for me, but you can tape it wherever you want, wherever you think it holds the best for you. And you're gonna tape it at the top of your table. It's gonna be off screen for you, but you just tape it down at the top of your table. No real secret there, no real trick there. You're just getting it to hold so that as you're working with it, it doesn't come flying out. So I like to kind of comb this out, if you will, like hair. And then from there, separate it into 4 equal pieces. So there will be 2 strands in each section. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 1 strand from the first section, 1 strand from the second section, and this is what we're gonna knot together. I like to knot it about, I use about a hand's width, or I should say not really the width, but the thumb to the pinky. It's about 7 inches. Now obviously everyone has different sized hands. So, and it depends like how big you're making your hands. I just kind of loosely do this business, put it down, measure, and there's my knot. If you want to actually measure, of course, feel free to grab something, a ruler, or even just something that you can use over and over, like a pencil. Say, okay, it's 1 pencil length down or something like that. So it's about 7 inches down, and that's where you're gonna make your first knot. So you take both strands together, and knot it, and you again can kind of tug on each little string. It doesn't have to be super tight. I don't like to make it super tight just in case I need to undo it, but you want to just clean it up a little bit. That's our first knot. So then you take that remaining string with the next string from the next bunch and knot that together in the same place. And instead of measuring it again, I just measure it against what I've already made. And as I'm tightening it up, I'll kind of, see, I was way off. I was gonna say, I'll kind of measure it again and make sure I'm in the right spot. And somehow I had gotten quite off. You can kind of scooch it around. There we go. And then you take the next strand with the following strand, or the strand from the following group, the last group, and knot that. And again, I'm going to measure it against the previous one I made. Adjust it a little bit, looking pretty good. Go ahead and tighten it up a little bit. So all 3 are pretty even. Then this last one, this is the trickiest guy, and it's really not that tricky. But you take the last 2, or the first one and then the last string, and you're gonna knot those. Again, same 7 or so inches down. They're all pretty even, they're looking good. So what you're gonna do for this last one is you're just gonna kind of move it to the front, or the left side. That's gonna be string 1 now. I'm gonna move the rest of these out. And then you're gonna make your next knot down about 2 inches from where this knot is. So basically, you're doing the same thing over. You're acting as though this knot is where the ring is, if that makes sense. So again, we have our bunch of 4 strings, and I take 1 string from the first bunch, 1 string from the second bunch, and I'm going to knot those together. So you can see, you can start to see how it makes that pattern, that kind of V pattern that holds everything together, holds that pot in the hanger. So about 2 inches down or so. You don't want to go too far down because this pot is so little, it'll fly right through the mesh, the macrame that you've made, which defeats the purpose. So that's about 2 inches. That's pretty good. Then I'm going to take the remaining string from the second batch and one of the strings from this third and knot those at the same position. About 2 inches down. I do the same thing that I did on the first one, kind of measure, see how I'm doing, make sure I'm about the same length away, same distance, tighten it up a little. So you can start to see that pattern. Again, this guy with the last bunch. There we go. So you can see that creates 2 loner strings again. And you're going to do just what you did last time. You take the very first string, very last string, bring them together. This is going to be what makes it circular and to be able to hold that pot. Again, measure them all up. They're looking pretty good. Maybe adjust a little bit here and there. Tighten if need be. Now you have basically you're done. We just need to make the final knot that the pot will be resting on. So you want to be sure and make this a really good knot because it's most of what takes most of the weight. So you can simply do like we did up at the top with one knot, where you just take all of the strings, knot them together. You want it fairly close to this, probably about 1 inch or so in between. So you could do it this way and, you know, really tug on it tight. This is the easier way of the 2 options. But I felt like when we did it this way, the pot kind of like situated sideways when you put it in there. It sat a little crooked. So instead, what you can do, is option 2, where you take this extra piece that you have in your box. And I'm actually going to move this up just a little bit so you can be sure to see what I'm doing. At the end here. Okay, so now what we're going to do for option B, we're going to make like I did on this guy here. You're going to take this extra piece that you have, you're going to make a little loop about like that at one end, and you're going to hold it about 1 inch down from these last knots that you made. You're going to hold it about so, and you're going to wrap this long piece of the string around. And you're just going to work your way down, probably do it about 5 or 6 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's about right. And then you stick, so you still have this loop here hanging down. Stick that long cord right in there. So once you get it in, you take that top piece and pull, and it creates a nice finished, super sturdy knot. And I don't even cut mine, I just incorporate it into the rest of the tail. It looks really nice. I do cut the top, but not the bottom. There you go. go ahead and take the tape off, and then you have your nice little macrame pot hanger. And you can trim these up. I like a nice long tail. I think it's really fancy. But you could trim it up a little bit shorter or way short, whatever you like. And then you could also, if you wanted, take your other toothpick and you can fray the ends. You can open up the ends with it and make it look fuzzy and kind of furry. You could do something like that too, but I like to leave it just like this. And then you put your little pot in, so you can see it makes this little opening. If you look at it from the top. That's where your pot's gonna sit. It's a little awkward, but it can be done. And there you have it. Voila, your own little hanging, beautiful, adorable little succulent pinch pot to hang anywhere you like. And actually, you know what? This time of year, I hung mine up on my Christmas tree simply because I didn't have another place to hang it at the moment. And it looks super cute. So if you celebrate Christmas, you can hang it on your tree. You can make a whole tree of these things. All right, well, I had a lot of fun, and be sure to show me what you've made. I can't wait to see what you guys have done. Go onto the Facebook group at Mini BuoyBox Hangout and post some pictures, or if you have any questions, of course, post those as well. I'll be on there watching for you guys and looking for your projects. All right, take care, bye.